Hello, everyone, and welcome to this 10 Questions About Cloud podcast. Today, we have a very special guest. Welcome, Mike.
Hi, Pablo. Thanks for having me here.
So I always use the first question to introduce yourself, basically who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Maik Wendt. I'm coming from Berlin, and I worked actually for the Capgemini for the cloud infrastructure services.
Okay, cool. I would like to know how was your cloud journey? I mean, maybe you can tell us about your first steps towards the cloud.
Yeah, so my first steps were my last company where I worked. So it was for LEDVANCE, and we start in 2017 a project for light as a service.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore we start for a measurement for the buildings and rooms, for everything which are related for energy consumption and so on, and how to evaluate the best light concept, and also for partners what we can modify for a better energy consumption to reduce the costs and also the pollution.
Wow, really interesting.
For that, we start working with Microsoft in the Azure cloud. So they provide us a lot of help and a good start into it, because we are completely new in this field at this point when we start. And for me also, I'm a completely new joiner for cloud. So I'm not studied IT, so I'm a normal, comes from the electrical side. So that was my start in the cloud.
Wow, really interesting. And now that you have a little bit more experience with the cloud, what's in your opinion the biggest pros and cons of the cloud? Or in other words, why would you recommend a company to migrate to the cloud?
So I think the biggest advantage for a cloud is that you are really fast and you can deploy very easily new things. You can test very easily new things. You can develop also very fast, and you don't need to check if I have enough resources in my company, in my data center, that I have enough compute resources or storage and so on. So it's very easy to go into the cloud, to deploy something very fast, to test. And when you get very smart for this, it's very easy to save then also the costs in the cloud.
Yeah.
In a long time journey, I think that's also you save money when you go to the cloud and when you set up your cloud environment correctly.
I totally agree with your opinion. I also think that the cloud increases the speed, the speed on developing, and also the time to market.
Yeah, that's right. Also, what I said, when you only want to test something, like for a POC, you can go very fast, faster as in your own data center.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose something which is free. So that's what my experience is with the Azure cloud, that we have a lot of free tiers for testing when you only want to check if it works or not, and it's very easy.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree on your opinion. So moving to the next question, I truly believe that cloud computing is going to be, so the knowledge, the skills are going to be really a standard. Like now, I don't know, Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel or whatever. What do you think about that? Do you think that cloud skills are also going to be a standard?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think in the future, the most companies will go into the cloud. They will only have data center when it is really necessary regarding some law requirements from the government that you have to store it in your company and not in the cloud. But for everything else, I think nearly every company and also the governments will join into the cloud, because the advantages are more than the negative sides.
Truly, I really think also, but let's see how this evolves in the future. So one of the most common questions I get around is which cloud provider to use. I mean, you already talked about Microsoft Asia, but I would like to know what are for you the key factors to consider when choosing a cloud provider.
I think the key factors are, what is your use case? So in the past, I think some weeks ago, there was on Tech Note a good interview with a specialist from China who present the cloud providers worldwide, like for Azure, Amazon, Google, and Alibaba, and they compared. And there you can see that every cloud provider of these four have this special field. Yeah. So from my side, I think the Microsoft Azure cloud is more for industry applications. So AWS is more like for everything around e-commerce and media. And Google is more like for the artificial intelligence. I don't see Google Personal as a public cloud provider for everyone. I think the strength is for the artificial intelligence by Google. And for Alibaba, I think that it's so the unknown player currently. So in the last month, I had a lot of talks with Alibaba here in Germany. And I see how many products, solutions they provide and how big they are in China. So I think Alibaba is also a really great competitor then to Azure and Amazon, and also in Europe. And they will have a great market entrance in the future, I think, and also for Europe, because they also provide nearly every field, like AWS and Microsoft, and they are really strong also in the artificial intelligence sector.
Very good point that you touched it, because that was a question that I wanted to do to you later.
Okay.
But yeah, very nice information. So let's change a little bit the topic. In the recent years, the word multi-cloud or multiple platforms has become really trendy. I mean, almost everyone talks about multi-cloud ecosystems. What's your opinion about these approaches?
I think it's a good, a nice and interesting product feature that you can use multi-cloud. So from my side, I think very interesting is the Microsoft Arc technology that they provide the multi-cloud only with one account, that you can manage your cloud entrance. But also here at Capgemini, we have something like this in our portfolio.
Cool. Very good to know.
Yeah, so I think it's from a good choice for big companies. They work worldwide, and they choose for every region maybe an own cloud provider because of the availability or of the costs, that you can manage it central in the headquarter with one account and one platform.
Cool. Yeah, really interesting. I mean, I think multi-cloud ecosystems are really going to be very useful, because not as you already mentioned, not every cloud is for each solution. I mean, sometimes you need something from one cloud, something from another cloud.
Yeah.
So you need a multi-cloud environment.
Yeah.
Cool. So you already talked about different platforms, cloud providers. There was like a study talking about the players. They made a market share analysis, and it said that AWS is with 31% of the market share, Asia about 20%, and Google Cloud about 6%. And behind that is Alibaba Cloud with 5%. And the rest of the clouds like Oracle, Tencent, Huawei, IBM, whatever, they are around 37%. This is now in 2020. How do you think this market share is going to look like in, I don't know, 5-10 years?
Yeah, so based on this numbers and also what you can see in the past is that Azure closed step by step the gap to AWS. And you see the revenue for the last quarter. But I think also that the Chinese cloud providers, especially Alibaba and Tencent, will also growing very fast in the next years. Because the China market is still very interesting for every company from Europe or for America. And also they come into Europe with a high speed. So when you see the speed from Alibaba here in Europe, how fast they set up the data center and develop all these services from China to Europe that they are available here, then I think also they will get a good position here and also then in a worldwide market. And I think the third place in the future is placed by Alibaba. So I think for Google, it will be hard in the future.
Yeah, I also share your opinion, but it's only my personal opinion. But I also see the future like you in that way.
Yeah, as I mentioned it some minutes ago. So for me, Google is a strong competitor for the artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. But I don't see them as a competitor for the whole experience for the cloud. That's my point of view.
Oh, very good point. And actually, my next question was also following your topic, saying that the Chinese market in the cloud market is growing so fast. Only during the 2019, the market share increased more than 63% in China. So making this this cloud market in China the second biggest in the world, behind, of course, the United States. How do you expect this to evolve in the coming years? I know that you already mentioned that you see some cloud providers such as Alibaba or Tencent growing a lot. Yeah, tell us a little bit more about this topic, please.
So what I see in the past when I visit China for my old company in the headquarters there, for the owner of LedVans, we saw a lot of companies which are here like for the mid-size companies, and they all have their own data centers. So there's also a huge market for the smaller area for the cloud providers where they can get new business also there. Here in Germany, we see it currently also that a lot of these, how to say it in Germany, we saw that Mittelstand, going to the cloud, and AWS and Microsoft get good business here for that. And I think the same is in China, and Alibaba and Tencent will also grab these pieces in China and will also grow more.
Yeah, I really agree with that. I'm really looking forward to see what happened in the future with these Chinese cloud providers.
Yeah.
So we are almost finished. Just two more questions. The first one, I would like to know if you could share with us the last thing or one of the latest things that you learned about cloud. Yeah, it can be a strategic or a technical topic, a tool.
And so what was the last one? It was not really a cloud tool. It was more like a tool to work with the cloud, with your development. It was for Azure DevOps. Tool, how to handle your code to deploy it in the cloud with all the CI/CD pipeline. That was very interesting, and I like the Azure DevOps tool very much because it's very easy to handle. It's very easy to start with it. And Microsoft provides you on the own learning portal a lot of informations and trainings that you can get started very easy and learn very fast how to use this one.
Yeah, I don't have experience with this tool. However, I have heard a lot of very cool stuff about this tool, the features and how good it performs.
Yeah, and also the connectivity to other tools from third parties that you can use a lot of these stuff there. That is not only the Microsoft environment, so you can add your own plugin for like Jenkins or SonarQube to test something. That's very cool.
Very good. And just the last question. You know, there are a lot of sources and information out there, but sometimes it's hard to choose which documentation or which blog to follow. Could you share with us what do you use to keep yourself up to date?
So to be up to date, I used as number one on LinkedIn. So I follow nearly every cloud provider, and you get the informations and the new stuff very fast over LinkedIn. So it's for me the source number one. And also I think what is a good choice to be up to date is that you collect the newsletter from the cloud providers, that you get nearly every week one newsletter where they show you the new stuff, what's coming up, or some events where you can join. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. So basically that was it from my side. If you want, you can add something else.
No, only thank you very much for the invitation for this. It was very nice.
Yeah, also thank you very much for you, for your time, for participating. It's been really a pleasure for me having you here. And also I have learned a lot from you. I will definitely try this Azure DevOps tool. And yeah, I will basically leave your LinkedIn and your social networks in the description, just in case someone wants to contact you.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, thank you very much and see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.